Like we always say, there's a life after football, and before a player, a footballer retire, you should know that there have to be a transition. So I started my coaching after my retirement, which I started in South Africa. I was assistant coach for Kaizer Chiefs, 2016, 2017, and I returned back home, trying to do my own. So I'm one of the people who brought Legon Cities to Accra, Wawa Stars to Accra, and as a management member, and at the same time I was the coach. Yeah. So now what John is doing now is doing the coaching. So right now after football, the next transition is to become a coach. When I came, I had a plan to also add value to Ghana football. So for me, I have all the experience and how we can build the team, the club, and then make sure that we have a good materials, players that can also fit for the national team. So the agenda was very big. By doing that, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of money to do. So, but lucky, I got to meet Atipo, Richard Atipo, the CEO, the president of the Legon Cities. So I spoke to him about the idea in terms of setting up a club to make it bigger. So he gave me green light to look for a club. So we started with the third division, second division teams. We're trying to build players until we got information about Wawa Stars that is on off to sell. So I told him, and then Richard Atiko gave me a head to go in and negotiate with the club. So yeah, I went to meet, to cut everything short, I went to meet our ex-president, Kwesi Nyantakyi, and then we finalized everything, and then we took over.
Everybody is talking about Legon City. How did you add value to why All Star to transform it to become Legon City, which has become very flamboyant now?
Yeah, I think if before you start something, you need to have a plan. Yeah. So we have a 5-year development plan for the club, which we are using the youth and an experience, so that the country can benefit from them. When it comes to under 17, we will have players there. Under 20, we will have players there, and then senior national team itself, we will have players there. By doing that, it takes, like I said, it takes a lot of effort. Yeah. So I would say football is a gentleman game, and it's a sport that brings people together. But how you do it, will attract people to come and watch. Like for instance, we have a fantastic bars, and we are using social media as well to sell what we have, our products. And also as a club, we have all the departments. We have a coaching side, we have physiotherapists, we have our doctors, we have a management team, we have the board, and we have media, we have communication managers, and then we have marketing managers. So when you employ all these people, like you see that day and day, everybody, each and everyone will be doing their job. It's like a big company. It's a work, not a club where you find only one person managing the club. The club don't have account and all, but Legon Cities have an account of its own. Players have their own bank accounts. We don't pay players through cash in their hands, but we pay through the bank so that they can save and then live in a good life, because we believe that there's life after football. Like myself, if I had not planned well, I wouldn't have had this idea of trying to add value to Ghana football. So Legon City is in to do marvel things, a big thing, to also polish our football in Ghana.
You talk about 5-year development plan. What is the mission and the vision so that you achieve your goals in 5 years within that particular period?
Yes, to be one of the best in Ghana here, and also in the league to be the top 3, and then in our continent to be top 5. And also to get more players playing for the national team, and then also send a big message across the world. and also add value, like I said. So we are in to do well. Our mission and our vision is very, very strong, man.
So what materials have you put in place to ensure that you achieve that goal within the specific period?
There's a lot of things under construction. We are trying to build our own stadium and our own training facilities and get the clubhouse and all, and have buses for the youth side, and also engage with the NGOs trying to help people who are in need, go to hospitals and help them, because it's also part of our journey. So within this 5 years coming, we should be able to establish those things that we have in the box.
That's a very laudable plan. Where are you supposed to, or where have you planned to put on your stadium other facilities to make the club more attractive?
Oh, for now, we are just keeping it safe. We are not going to disclose where we are building the thing, but like we said, in 5 years, everybody will know what Legon City is about.
Now, let's get back to your coaching career. You say you want to be a coach. What kind of criteria have you put in place, and what kind of coach do you want to be, so that you impart the youth who also want to be, who are claiming to be like you?
Yeah, I want to be a successful coach, to be a mentor, a father, a teacher, to all. Take more responsibilities for my players, and all. Just ease pressure for my players. Like I said, I started in South Africa, and I have a South Africa D Lances. When I came to Ghana, I wanted to do the A, but at that time there was a problem with the FA not working and all. So I was still waiting for the green light to come up so that I would be able to do my A Lances. As I'm talking to you now, I couldn't coach because I didn't meet the requirements of the FA. So I'm still waiting for the right time to come. But right now I can coach any team, but the issue is the Lances, yes.
Before you retired from active football, you were also playing professional. Can we start from your professional career, how you started professional career, before we start on how you started football in particular?
When I was growing up, I was enjoying football. I thought I would become a professional footballer in the future, because it wasn't part of my plans. What I was thinking is, because my dad was a police officer, so I was thinking at the end of the day, after my school, I would join police force. So during that period, my dad was transferred to Berekum, and then I went to one school park, and there was people playing, and I joined them. And then I did well. So there was one, one Joe Debra. He is in the Happy FM. Okay. So he was like them, like boys, they organize footballers to play every Monday to Friday. Yeah. So he came and said, this boy is very good. We can build a team around him. So they spoke to a friend of them who lives in the UK at that time. He was an Arsenal supporter. So they spoke to him if he want to build a football team.
Arsenal
in England.
Okay.
Yes. So he said, no, okay, then if you have a good players, say, yeah, we have this inspector's son who is very good. We can build a team around. So that's where Berekum Arsenals became Berekum Arsenals. So then we start playing third division, second division to first division. So when we reached first division, there was a friendly match against under 20, national under 20. At that time, they were preparing for under 21 World Cup in Argentina. It was handled by, may he so rest in peace, Coach Ike Afrani. Okay. So that's where I was discovered. Okay. And then I was called to join the national team in Winneba. So that's where I became a professional footballer.
How old were you when you started playing for Berekum Arsenals?
I started playing for Berekum Arsenals at the age of 17. So first division, third division, second and first. So 3 years on the line, I was 20 years to join the under 20.
Okay. Where were you schooling before you went to Berekum to play for?
New job in College of Commerce in Koforidua.
So how were you making it up from Berekum to New Job and up and down, those kind of things?
Yeah, it was a big issue that those guys have to go and see my parents to change my school. So they did that and it works. They pay my school fees and they put me in Presec in Berekum.
Okay. So they gave you scholarship?
They gave me scholarship, not the school, because they were paying the school fees for me. Yeah.
So how did you fit into the system in Berekum before you joined the national under 20 team?
Yeah, like I said, my dad was a police officer. So anytime there's holiday, I have to go and see my parents in Berekum. So one day I decided to just go and look for a place that they play football, and I joined them. Yeah.
So what position or what role were you playing at the initial stages when you started football?
I was a striker.
A striker for Berekum Arsenals?
Yeah, for Berekum Arsenals.
How did you become a striker 10 defender? So that means that you were discovered as a striker and you developed your career as a striker in Arsenals?
I think I developed my career as a defender because all this while I was playing as a striker. Okay. Yeah, from Berekum Arsenal 3rd division to 1st division. Okay. So when I had a call to join the under 20, I was still playing as an offensive player. Sometimes Coach Afani will use me as a winger or sometimes behind a striker. But I think he found out that the squad was very huge, and then at the same time he saw that I was a very hard worker. So some players that he cannot drop them and take me, then he has to find me a position at the back. So he gave me that right full back. That was a massive decision to take because I didn't know nothing about playing as a right back. But one friendly match, it worked. I'm somebody that listened to coaches. Yeah, so when I listened to him, I did what he asked me to do. That was it.
So will you say that it was a friend who transformed you into a formidable player in Ghana?
Yes, I'll say so.
In what way did he do it?
Like, he sent me to, Ethiopia, the first qualification African Cup of Nations under 20. Okay. Then the squad was very big, yeah. So I was dropped. So I came back home, joined Berekum Arsenals, training with them. So the team qualified for the World Cup. Yeah. So when they returned to Ghana, he called me again to the national team. Okay. That's where he started playing me as a defensive midfield and then sometimes a center back, yeah. But not at the right back. Okay. So when we go to Germany, on our way to Argentina, yeah. We have to play one friendly match with the German under 20. Yeah. That is where he changed the position and asked me to go and play as a right full back. So I did that and it worked. So later when I went to the hotel room, I was thinking about it. So the next day when we went to training, he said now he got his strong 4 back. That means I'm part of those who are traveling, defenders. Then I said, thank God. I will stick to the information, I will stick to the plan, and then I'll work. And when we went to Argentina, it works fantastic for me.
From Arsenal, how many local teams did you play before you travel abroad?
Yeah, I played Berekum Arsenals and then Liberty Professionals. Liberty Professionals, I played for 6 months. I spent 6 months with Liberty Professionals.
What was the year?
It was 2002 to 2003.
Why did you leave Arsenal to play for Berekum, for Liberty instead of the flamboyant teams in Ghana, Kotoko and then Hasifo, who I'm sure they might have sought for your services?
Yeah, like I said, the earlier stage, I didn't know what football can give me. Okay. And then when Herbert and Harry Zakor were following me, pushing to play for them, give me money and all, I told them straight that I'm not going to play for Kotoko or Has. So since that time, they had huge respect for me. They even give me money to take money if whether you play or not, take it. I took the money. I told them I'm not playing. So I was honest with them. And then later on, when Tete, may his soul rest in peace, came in, I said, okay, I'll play for Liberty Professionals. And then I joined Liberty. Then after 6 months, offers came, and then I have to pick one. And then I found myself in Israel.
May I know why you refused to play for Kotoko and Hearts in particular, especially teams that every player in Ghana is yearning to play for?
Like I'm saying, I wasn't following the Ghana league or football where they pay money and all. I wanted to have fun and play my soccer. And then I saw that Liberty professionals were playing scientific football, play beautiful football, players who have flair, they dribble and all. And that was my style of playing. So, yeah, Liberty, I was scoring goals. I was playing, same time I was playing as a second striker. And when I take the ball, nobody can take it for me. I can dribble from end to end. So it was very good for me. And the training was more professional. And Sly would travel the team to Kuwait. I remember we went to Kuwait for pre-season and give each player $100 as a, how do you call it, per diem. So I saw that there's something unique in this in football, in this team. So that man was doing very well. Yeah, that's why I was able to bring ideas of building Legon cities. Because when you have such people in Ghana, you also learn from them. Yeah. So my reason of playing for Liberty Professionals was their scientific and their professionalism.
Okay. You said you went to play from Liberty. You went to Israel. How did you get the offer to play in Israel, and what team?
That was after the 2001 World Cup. There was a lot of offers, but
Where was the World Cup played?
It was played in Argentina, okay. 2001. Okay. So the agents were still following me. Even when I came back, I was supposed to go back to Berekum Arsenals. Okay. Then Alhaji Berekum Arsenals chairman have a deal with Sly Tete. Yeah. So I have to move to Liberty. Okay. Yeah, for one season. Yeah. So after a season, I have to go back to Berekum Arsenals. Yeah. So from there, the deal came, and then I joined.
Israel is known to be a religious nation, the Christians. So when you're going to Israel, what was your mentality?
I didn't know anything about Israel.
Yes.
Yeah, at that time, I will be honest, I didn't know anything about Israel. What I know is I'm going to play football, I'm going to have fun. And even the money that they were quoting, I wasn't focused on that. I would say I was naive. I didn't have any experience because I know players play in Europe and they come and all. So I think why I was doing that was the opportunity just came from nowhere. Why people were fighting to get opportunity, the chance to play. Mine was gifted. I was gifted. My football, I don't know. I didn't go to academy or play any small teams to learn. I was just playing for fun. Then the chance came. So I was still having fun. The time I realized that there's money that I can make and do well at home was 2004, when I started playing Champions League for the team I joined, Maccabi Tel Aviv.
I see. Your first team in Israel was
Maccabi Tel Aviv.
And you said when you went, the money that they quoted, you didn't care about it. So who was taking care of that financial distance for you at the time that you started professional?
Oh, the agent. I could read and then understand what I'm going to sign.
So where was the money coming to?
The money was coming to me, my account, yeah. But some people, like now, if I were to play again, I would negotiate with big money and all. So the time I realized that I have to move forward was 2000 and 2004, yeah. Which was very good age group and timing for me, which I did. But in the beginning when I was just going for fun. So I didn't know you have to go and fight and do this, you understand? So, yeah.
When you went to Israel, what are some of the achievements that you made before you left for other countries?
Yeah, I think my first season I won the Israeli League and then the Israeli State Cup for Maccabi Tel Aviv. And after 2 years, I moved to Hapoel Tel Aviv. So my first season I won the league and the State Cup for them before I moved to England.
So you played for two teams in Israel?
In Israel, yeah.
Why did you move from Israel to England?
Yeah, I think after...
And what team did you go to England to play?
I went to West Ham United. Yeah, that was after 2006 World Cup. Yeah. The coach, the manager, Lampadio, was there to witness the Czech Republic game. So after the game...
The second game?
The second game, which we won 2-0. Yeah, so from there, they contacted my agent that they want me to come to England. And also there was a player called Yossi Banayu, who is from Israel. So he also recommended me to Alan Pardew. So when he came, he witnessed and he said, okay, this is what we are looking for. So that was where another transition from Israel to England.
In West Ham, how did you also establish yourself and then made your name over there?
Yes, when I got there, I had to fight for a position. The team were campaigning at Sweden. I joined them, so we played 3 friendly matches. So our first match, the player who were there before me have to start the first match against Charlton Athletic. So he played the first 45 minutes, so I came in second half. So the first half was 0-0. So I came second half, and then all the balls were coming from my side. I was doing a lot of crossing, overlapping. So I did about 3 assists, and then 2 was goal, created goal. So from there, I became the number 1 choice for West Ham, that defense. Then after 6 matches, Alan Pardew was left to no choice that they have to leave the club because of what, which I cannot say it here. So it also became a problem for his players that he signed in the club. Yeah.
So from West Ham, what were the main challenges that you've just mentioned that your coach left? What are the other challenges that face you in West Ham before you left to play for other teams?
Yeah, it became very tough for me, especially those who was signed by him. New coach came and he has to bring his own players. So myself and then Tevez and then Mascherano, we were playing reserve league. In reserve leagues we play with the youth, and that game is played in the night like 7. And look at that weather. So that was what we were doing. So we were playing for 1 season, only reserve leagues. Then there was a match that we played against Fulham youth side, and then Roy Hodgson was there to watch. So after the game, he spoke to West Ham that he wants me next season. That was 2007 to 2008. So 2008, I joined Fulham.
What was your performance also in Fulham, and how did you establish yourself there?
I think Fulham was where I think it was home. Fulham was home for me.
Why do you say it was home?
Because that's a place that I got opportunity to play all the matches throughout to the Europa Cup final. And there's no single match that I was in the bench. I think I played most of 99% for the period that I spent with Fulham.
So what can you say were your main achievements in Fulham, apart from just playing as a footballer and then getting playing time to play? What can you say were your main achievements in Fulham?
Yeah, to be part of the team that took the club to Europa Cup final. It was amazing. It was a very good journey. We played more than 16 teams in Europe, together with English League, about 40s and over matches. So it was a big one. We beat a lot of big teams as well before we were kicked out in the final stage.
What were some of the matches that you still have memories when you were playing for Fulham? Let's talk about the league itself and then the continental matches.
Yeah,
you have one particular match that you think you did so well. Let us know and why you think you did so well and you deserve praise in that particular match.
I think against Manchester United, 2008-2009, we beat them 4-0 at Covent Cottage. So the match was very, very powerful one. And see Rooney taking a red card and Rangis using his hand in the box, causing a penalty in the early stages. And Ronaldo, I play him out because he is a right footer. He wanted to play for my side. So I saw that he's very strong on his right. So I always show him to his weak leg, that's his left. He didn't like it. So that was one of the fantastic games that I had in England for the league. Then also the Europa Cup, I think the game that we played, we eliminated Juventus in quarter final stage. So it was also a huge one for me playing for Fulham.
Who were some of the key players in Fulham that who played against Manchester that you beat about 4-0 that we are talking about, and who are some of the key players in Man U who were uh, 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 could be classified as legends that you played them out?
Yeah, I think I had Danny Murphy, captain as Bobby Zamora, Paul Konchesky, Clint Dempsey, and Mark Schwarter. And we have Andy Johnson, we have Dixon Atuhun, Danny Duffer. There was a lot. And then look at Manchester United having Ronaldo, Rooney, Ryan Giggs, Nani. It was a lot of them.
Well, I mean, after the match, how was the feeling in your camp and in their camp, especially the dressing room?
We were happy. I mean, Fulham. One thing about that squad is we take one at a time. We don't jubilate too much because that season in the league we were 7th, and then the Europa Cup final. So it was a huge squad, and what helped the team too is as we have a manager who was as a mentor to us, who was a father, who always take the pressure from us. He makes sure that his players are okay to play, and he helped us to watch the opponent matches most of the time. And also we stay as professionals, like taking one game at a time. Like we don't get swallow-headed. We know what we want. And that year, I think we lost only two matches. Yeah, it's only Chelsea and West Ham who beat us. But the rest of the clubs, we go there, we have a point or 3 points massive.
What would you say were some of the players who were very difficult to play with or play against? I'm talking about the strikers when you went to England.
Yeah, I think this was it Song Park from Jackson from Manchester United. He was a very difficult player to handle. Yeah, I think he's from Korea. Yeah. He was very difficult to handle. He's like African player. You kick him to hell, he will still come back to you. So I think he was the only player who gave me a tough time. But aside him, I was very cool to handle the rest.
You talk of also playing Ronaldo out. How many times did you play him out when you were in Fulham?
I think 3 times. 2 in the league and then 1 in the cup game.
You say Ronaldo can recognize you when he meets you and then can say something about you as one of the toughest guys who gave him troubles when you were in England?
Oh yeah, he has that record in his head because I kick him a lot. I was kicking, we were fighting, the referee would come, separate us. And then at the end of the day, I think he took a yellow card because I was hitting him, frustrating him, because he's not a player who likes that kind of game. He wants to be comfortable on the pitch. Yeah. But when he meets a defender like myself, I won't let you have that comfortability, especially at my position. Yeah. So he will definitely remember me.
I learned you also had a problem with Steven Gerrard. What was it? Can you recall that particular incident?
Yeah, he is a fighter. He's a leader. He was very good player. He don't like defeat. So me too, we have the same attitude. I'm a fighter, he's a fighter. And when we get close to each other, we go at each other. So that's what happened.
How do you? I learned there was a confrontation. I want you to let us know what the confrontation was and how it was resolved.
Yeah, I was going with the ball, and then I got a kick behind his player. So I still continue. So I saw that I was losing the ball, the referee was quiet, so it was 50-50. Then his 2 players came, and then I go for them too, and the ball.
Once you go for them, what did you do?
I go for them with the ball. I slide all of them with the ball. Okay. And then the referee say play on. Okay. So as I was going to the ball, because I got up quicker than his 2 players, so as I was going to the ball, he came behind and then smashed him in the referee whistle against him. Okay. So when I got up, he thought I was coming to him. Okay. So he came and then hold me, and I also hold him.
You hurt him. Where did he hold you?
My ribs.
just holding you, or he was?
No, he was pinching me.
How did you react?
Because there the referee wouldn't say it. So I also hold him there. We were pinching each other.
On the field?
Yeah.
How did the referee react to the pinching of the
Because the referee will never see what is happening with our hands. He know we are holding each other, but he don't know that it's...
Were you looking at his face on it?
The referee will always look up because our heads were facing each other. The referee will have to see who hits one, who box first. Yeah. So we were experienced enough to know that no one has to use the head.
But we were using the hand.
We are using a hand to do the job.
Is that the way that footballers do it on the field of play, to the blind side of spectators, or what?
Yeah, to respect the rules, that your hand must not go up and kick somebody, hit somebody, or your leg must not come out and hit somebody. It's a gentle, gentle misconduct. We are not allowed to squeeze and hit somebody, but it happens. We are human beings. When you are running and there's a problem, you know, once you want to react, you react in a nice way, not to show the spectators the wrong things to hear, to learn. Because, you know, these days kids watch football. If a kid is watching football and then Steve Gerrard is his mentor and myself, and then he would just punch me with his head. That kid was oh no, you see. So as professional players, once you play, you learn those things. Even when you're angry, you should know when to react.
How did you get a chance to play for apart from the junior national teams? How did you get a chance to play for the senior national team? And what were some of the matches that you remember so much?
I think it was a promise that may he so rest in peace, Mr. Ben Kofi. Okay. After we returned from Argentina 2001, he said our performance was fantastic, and he believed that we will be the generation that will qualify Ghana to play the World Cup for the first time. So he will make sure that some of us will join the national team, so a bit by bit, so that all of us will become the senior players at the end of the day. So after we came, I think it was somewhere December 2001, then Ghana was going to play against Algeria. That's where I was called to join the national team.
What year?
It was 2001. Okay. Yeah.
Then you were very young at that time?
Yeah, at that time, yes. I was very skinny as well.
Who were some of the players that your team who were promoted to the national team at that time by Mr. Ben Kofi?
Yeah, it was Mike Essien, John Paintsil, myself, Razak Ibrahim, and Derek Boateng.
So when you got a chance for the first time, how did you feel and how did you perform? And against what team?
Yeah, that friendly match was against Algeria. Okay. It was a friendly match. Okay. So we played and we came back, and then they called again to prepare the team for 2002 African Cup of Nations in Mali. So all these boys, all of us were called again to join. So my position was George Blay, who was playing that position. Okay. So I had to wait for my time. Yeah. So George played one game, and then I played the rest.
Yeah. So you joined the national team, and the progression became very, very steadily. Can you give us, take us through about your role in the national team from that time onward?
Yeah, as a youngster from 2001, I was playing every call-up I'm there, Then when it was under 23, they asked us to go and play for under 23 at the same time. So we were playing under 23 and then the senior national team, till a certain time, then we start becoming seniors from 2005, when Stephen Appiah generation start coming to cover with the youngsters. So we start following them because they were working so hard, and we have to do the same. Until 2006, we become semi-seniors, and we still keep going. Then 2008, we become masters, the seniors. Then we host the Nations Cup in Ghana here, which we took third place. So we entered 2000 and 2009. Then the sky became the limit. And then we start pushing. Now we try to push the young ones who are coming in, give them love to stay, because we know one day we also leave. Then they will take over. So 2013, then I retired from the national team.
Okay. Let's start from the World Cup. The first time that you played, Ghana qualified for the World Cup. What was the feeling in camp among the Ghanaian players?
It was great.
How great was it?
It was very, very great. We can't even express it. And the match that we won was a tough one in Cape Verde. Yeah, and I think we scored 5-0.
Cape Verde is not a very prominent football team. So why do you describe it as a tough match? As against the other qualifying matches that you played?
It was a tough match. Strong players. It's not players who lives in Cape Verde. It's players that from different countries that naturalized for them, and some were also playing in Portugal because they are from Portugal. So it was professional players. It's not players that you can say, oh, it's Cape Verde, you are coming to work on them. They give us tough match, but then we also know that that particular year was our year, because the love was there. We were together. We see ourselves like brothers. And then also ex-president Kwesi Ntechi and Fred Papo, the management team, they were managing the national team as a club side. The respect was there. They were giving everything out. They were motivating us. They did what they have to do to make sure that we are okay. So we saw that, and the pressure was eased. We were so comfortable to play from our heart. Like, we don't feel like we are cheated. We don't feel like we are left out. Always they are with us. So that also helped us. Yeah.
Would you say that it was the manner that the GFA handled you that enabled you to qualify for the World Cup for the first time?
I think so. Yeah, I would say yes, because seeing the sponsors, they brought a lot of sponsors in, and then our jerseys, the way we dress was fantastic. It's not unlike 2002 when we went to Mali and we were wearing Batakari and all, and the weather was hot. So you, the player, you feel a bit intimidated when you see other countries wearing the Adidas, and then you feel shy to even go out. But during their time, the way they put things was top.
Having qualified for the World Cup, there were group matches that you played. You lost the first game against Italy, and then the second game you won against Czech. How did you motivate yourself from the defeat to beating the Czech Republic 2-0?
I'll be honest with you, at that particular time, we were inexperienced. We were enjoying the game. So,
about the first match?
Yeah, no, not the first match. The entire World Cup, we were inexperienced. Okay. So we were enjoying ourselves.
When you say you were enjoying yourself, what do you mean?
Like, we play without stress.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you become experienced, you play with stress a little bit, with more focus, taking care of your positions at the right times. If you have to overlap, you overlap at the right time. You don't just fly on like that. So when we got Czech Republic, we said Czech Republic is a must-win game. So whatever we have to do to beat them, we have to. So you could see we're doing more attacking. We attacked them and we were fitter than them. Their legs were given out at the 75th minute, which we were still flowing because we were youngsters. It's our first time joining the FIFA World Cup, and we just wanted things to flow.
How did you see that they were feeling tired and then you started attacking them? Because you said their legs were giving out, which means that you saw them that they were tired. That's what you mean?
Yes, that's what I mean.
How did you experience it and then you started attacking them?
Yes, because I was playing as a right back, and as a right back I could overlap, pass the center line, and then their left winger would just look at me going. He won't track. But normally he would chase me. The first half he was chasing me up and down, up and down. But the second half when I was going, he would just do like he's coming, and then he would just let me go. So we were using their side, the right side more. That's where all the 2 goals came from.
So what was the feeling come again? Because after the check, the next match was against
USA.
What was the motivation?
We beat USA because we got a big, fantastic lift from Czech Republic. Beating Czech Republic was a very huge steps for us. Yeah. So our confidence level went up again. Already we were confident, but beating Czech Republic, our morale went up again. So when we were facing US, we said, okay, the underdog, we are the big stars. So we beat them, and then we moved to the next stage.
Was it the victory against Czech that motivated you to, because US is also a very big team. So why do you consider yourself as a big team against USA of all teams?
To be honest, that tournament 2006, for me, I didn't know who Czech Republic is. I didn't know who US is in football. Okay. I was there to have fun and play football and then fight for my nation and go. By the time I realized that they are the team to be watched out was after that World Cup, when I became a senior, more experienced, and then take more responsibilities.
Playing for the Black Stars, which of the matches do you remember as that you excel, that you can still recall as you did against the match against Man U in England?
I think it's a lot of games. I think throughout the 2006 World Cup, all the three matches, the four, apart from Brazil match that we were flowing out, playing out of positions, I think. And then also 2010 World Cup against US, Australia, and Serbia, I was on top.
The 2014 World Cup in Brazil, I hope you were part of it.
I was in part.
Okay. So when did you finally retire from football, and why? Because you were still young at the time that you felt you retired from football.
I retired 2015 to 2016. After I played 2 seasons for Maritzburg United in South Africa. Then my coach, Steve Compella, advised me not to stay too long because he could see that I have something in me. If I become a coach, I can do well. I should start doing my coaching. And I listened to him because he was right. Because when you go to a certain level, if you are a defender, your speed limits, it's questionable sometimes, yeah. But if you're a striker, you can go to other countries and then get going. But if you're a defender, as a fullback, you can't stay on till, let's say, 35, 36 and all. So at the age of 36, 37, I start hanging off the boots.
Who do you consider as your best coach from infancy up to the time that you retire from football, and why?
I think Roy Hodgson. Roy Hodgson saw what I have in me, and Coach Afrane gave me the opportunity to bring out my talents. So I would say these two great men are the people that make me who I am in football.
Can you briefly tell us how Afrane developed your career and nurtured it into fruition, and then where Rosen also took over from it to make you what you are today?
Afrane was straight, very disciplined. He don't give remarks to players, whether you do well or if you do well, he won't say anything. But when you do wrong things, he will hit you very, very hard. He will let you know that you are nobody. So I think that thing challenged me to do well, always doing extra. Yeah, so I think it was a very good thing that he didn't make me feel so much comfortable. He didn't make me feel comfortable at all. He made me feel like tomorrow I can leave camp. Anytime I can leave camp. So the fire was on my back to work. So when I got Roy was a father. Roy talked to me one-on-one. He managed my stress when needed. And he also gave me more playing time, because as a player, when you get more playing time, you do well. You don't get injuries and all. So you always had injury-free and all. So Roy trusted me. He believed in my ability. So he allowed me to play all the matches under him until he left. It was so fantastic, and I think I said this during the time I was hanging up my boots when I was saying thanks to the fans and all. And when I look up to Europe, starting from Maccabi Tel Aviv, supporters, the fans were amazing. I was number one to them. Hapoel Tel Aviv, the same, I was number one to them. And when I went to West Ham, in the few years I spent with them too, we still communicate and go to Fulham. Fulham is the Almighty. Even yesterday we were celebrating about their promotion and all. So I still follow all of them. And then go to Leicester City. Leicester City supporters will still following me on social handles and all. So I would say the love and the support they give me make me become who I am now. And I'm so proud of getting in touch with them and also them giving me that much love. So I would say, God, Allah bless all of us and bless the world, Africa, and then Ghana. Thank you all for your support.
Thank you very much. I'm glad talking to you.
Okay.